pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Loving Sai Ram to all sisters and brothers who have assembled here. The Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas program focuses on blossoming of human excellence for children and self-transformation key for gurus. A number of challenges are faced by the gurus as they go about discharging their duties. We are indeed extremely fortunate that our beloved Swami, the Daya Swarupa, has sent us his chosen instruments to be with us today. Who else but our Honorable All India President and our esteemed national coordinators? They will now address some of these challenges that are being faced and will suggest suitable measures to overcome them. We will have a series of discussions that will be led by our esteemed speakers. Srimati Kamala Pandya Madam, National Coordinator for Education, Sri Satya Sai Seva Organizations India, Srimati Neeta Khanna Madam, National Spiritual Coordinator, Sri Satya Sai Seva Organizations India, and Srimati Shashi Bala Madam, National Service Coordinator, Sri Satya Sai Seva Organizations India. I respectfully welcome our speakers to the dais. The moderators for today are our Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas Guru Sisters Usha Shrikant, Sharvari Kulkarni, Sri Jayanti, Jai Sri Amarnath, Sharada Subramanyam and Gayatri Swaminathan. I request the respective moderators to escort our distinguished speakers to the dais. For the benefit of everyone, Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas Guru Sisters, Nagaveni Muralidhar and Sahana Shashidhar will be translating the proceedings into Kannada simultaneously, which we can see on the screen. Over to you, sisters.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Mother Sai. Respected dignitaries and my dear Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas Gurus, a very, very loving Sai Ram to all of you. Let me take this moment and congratulate each one of you for becoming the Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas Guru. It's indeed a blessing from Bhagwan to take up this sadhana. Don't you all agree? And also, let us remind ourselves that Bhagwan himself takes each and every Bal Vikas class wherever it happens, whoever is the Guru. So, having said this, it becomes all the more important for us to do our work perfectly and to offer our 100%, right? So to this end, we have our esteemed panelists here as introduced by Priya's sister. Thank you, sister, for that wonderful and befitting introduction. So they are here with their experience and expertise to guide us on the various aspects of the Bal Vikas class. So this panel discussion will go on in 3 topics. So the first topic, we both will be moderating. So we request Kamala Pandya Madam will be answering the queries of the topic 1. And we also request the other panelists to add on with valuable suggestions. At the end of the first topic, the session will be kept open for questions from audience. So please feel free, if you have any queries, kindly note it down. And when it is kept open, please stand in your point and take the mic, ask for the mic, and you can say even in Kannada or English. Please feel comfortable. So let us move on to the first topic. So first topic is about the challenges which we face during the Bal Vikas classes. Since, especially in the group 1, we have mixed age group. So children are with various learning interests and various learning abilities. So it becomes little difficult for the guru. So how can the guru create an inclusive atmosphere so that every child feels, motivated? Sairam.
I think Bal Vikas is for all age groups, whether from the age of 5 to 15. All the children can avail of Bal Vikas. So for me, it is necessary that the child gets interested in the Bal Vikas. So he wants to come to the class. The main interest is the guru. The guru is the kingpin of the organization, and therefore the Bal Vikas child comes only for the sake of the guru. I remember one child who used to come only for Kamla auntie to the class. So this is just an example that I'm giving you. You all have to be such motivating factors. The children come for your sake first, and then automatically they become a member of the Bal Vikas organization. Okay, my idea is that Bal Vikas children, whatever their age group is, does not matter. And therefore these children must be motivated by the guru to come to the class. The main attention problem is coming to class. Once they come to the class and you win them over, then they will never leave you. I remember my childhood when I was only 17 and started Bal Vikas. It was that age that I got children involved with me. Until today, I have many of them as gurus now who still come for the sake of Kamla auntie. So that is only the example. It's not Kamla auntie, it's for the sake of the guru. So you must remember that the child is coming for your sake, and from you, you are taking him to God. You are leading him to God. I will play this game so you see that how I played and how we involve the children in. When I have time, I will do that.
Thank you, Kamla ma'am. Saira. So as Kamla ma'am said, the Bal Vikas Guru plays a key role in creating the environment in Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas classes so that despite of the age group, student would like to join in any situation. Thank you ma'am for sharing such a valuable insights. Moving on to the next question. Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas classes often include children who are highly curious. Some are hyperactive, some are slow learners as well. And some kids, they come with special needs like autism spectrum disorder, or it might be the ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or dyslexia. Such neurodiverse kids are also available in the classroom. In that case, how Sri Satya Sai Bal Vikas gurus can create inclusive environment in classroom so that the classroom becomes more joyful and learning becomes beautiful.
At first, Bal Vikas is never in a classroom. Let me make that clear. It's always either in the homes of guru or in the residential areas. It is never in a classroom unless it is school Bal Vikas. So the next important thing is that whatever be the age group, whatever be the academic level of the child, the children must be catered to by the Bal Vikas guru. The guru must speak to every child in the class, whether it's an intelligent one or a dud. Is not important. You have to cater to each member of your class, and that is why your eyes must travel to each member of your class. The child must be feeling wanted, that here is auntie who wants me to come to the class, and that lure will keep the child going to your class. So then, whether you are I have an autistic group, 4 children autistic group who come to my class. Out of that 4 children, 2 of them have come out of autism just by the guru's love. This is a real life story. This is not make-up. And one of the boys is here in Bangalore city, and the other ones are in Bombay. Those 2 of them are still autistic, but they say at least Sairam and they sing bhajans. And that's a big effort for the child. So that's how we can change the child from autism to normalcy. If we give our love, it is the love of the Guru that caters to the child. And the child wants to come. If only you look at each child. When you're telling a story, look at each child so the child feels that this story is for me, not for her. It's for me. That importance is what is given by the Guru. Anything else?
Thank you, ma'am. For
Usha, can I add something to that?
Please. Yes, sir.
I think just adding the point, and when I saw those 4 autistic children in the class, what comes to my mind is that fundamentally, every Bal Vikas Guru in the Satyasai organization must know that behind that Bal Vikas Guru is a super Guru called Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba who works through that Guru. And therefore, the scientific and the psychological approach, though valid in modern times, we have a super psychology behind us which takes care of all psychology that we know.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, madam, for those very, very highly significant points. As you rightly said, it is the duty of the Guru to take the child to Bhagwan. So the love has to flow from Swami through us to the children, and it is more important for us to have the eye contact with each child. That is very, very true, and we have to recognize the child individually and give the individual attention. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. So going to the next question is about the group 2 and group 3, where children enter into the adolescent age. So they are being a teenagers, they start thinking rationally. They have logical things in their mind. So they find it little difficult to accept our explanation. They pose sometimes, challenging questions. And not just that, their academic pressures also start. So that time, the priority of Bal Vikas comes down. They tend to drop off from the class. So how to handle that situation, madam? Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
It's very easy to handle such children. If you keep your contact with the child, don't leave their hands. Keep holding their hands and they will come to you, because you at present are the first pin which attracts them to your class. And then once they are coming, they will never leave you. Even if they are 18 and 40, I have a 40-year-old boy who's now a pilot who comes to my class and sits like a child in the class. So that, I think Jayanti would be knowing. She has seen that child grow from 3 years to 40. The child is now married and settled in Mangalore, I think.
And calls you Guru Ma.
Yeah, calls me Guru Ma, yes. He calls Guru Ma. In front of everybody, he'll say, Guru Ma, like that he'll shout. So that is the bondage that we must have with the child. So that whatever be the age limit, whatever be the academic pressure, they will come to you. It's just a matter of 1 hour, 15 minutes in a week. It's not that we tell them to come every day and sit in your class. 1 hour, 15 minutes, or even talk on the phone. Some contact is maintained, and that is what we have to ensure.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಕಮಲಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗಿನ ಕಿಶೋರರಿಗೆ ಈ ಒತ್ತಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಗುರುಗಳ ಆ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತರಗತಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಸಾಗಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಆ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇರುವ ಒಂದು ಆ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಮುಂದುವರ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. Moving on to next question. With increasing distraction from gadgets, social media, peer influence, how can Sri Sathya Sai Bal Vikas Gurus can guide parents to actively support their children in staying focused, disciplined, and value-oriented through Bal Vikas learning? For the convenience of participants, translating in Kannada. ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಬಾಲ್ ವಿಕಾಸ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಗ್ಯಾಜೆಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಸಾಧನಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಬಾಲವಿಕಾಸ ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತರಗತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಫೋಕಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ಗುರುಗಳು ಪೋಷಕರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಬಹುದು we look forward for your kind values, ma'am.
I think Bal Vikas has to be made very innovative for the child. The guru must make an attempt to add new methods of teaching the child, not the same stereotype method of telling a story, reciting a prayer. No, you have to bring an innovative example to the child so that he wants to come to your class. So gadgets will not trouble him then. Pressures of outside will not trouble. He will come for your sake, as I said. The guru has to become the kingpin of the organization, and the lure of the guru is such that the child comes to your class. It's very important that this continues for all times to come, not only for the age of 5 to 8 and then 8 to 11, then 11 to 15, but from the age of 5 to 15, we have to bind the child to your hand, and then he will stay with you for all time to come.
Thank you, madam. Do you want to add any points how the parents and guru interaction should be there?
The parents have a very important role. In fact, it is the parent who helps what the guru does in the class. Whatever you do in the class, you must speak to the parents so that they know what is happening in the class. There are 4 things that a parent must do in a year. 1, visit the class, and therefore you must invite the parents to attend your class to see what is happening. Secondly, to have a parent contact. That means you involve the parent in the classroom, in the residential premises, and let them come and listen to you. You can address a letter to the parents. Address a letter to the parents that this is what is happening in the Bal Vikas. So the parents are involved with you. And fourthly is the cultural program, where you invite the parents to the organization. See, the parents need 4 invites from you. 1 is to visit your class. 2nd, you go to the homes and see what is happening in the homes. 3rd, parent cultural programs. Whenever you have a cultural program, like you saw one today, you invite the parents to that. And the 4th is parent contact. So you contact the parents and write a letter to them of the work that is being done in Bal Vikas. This is 4 things that you can do during the year. That means every 3 months you are in contact with the parents. Physical contact is necessary. You have to maintain a physical contact. The parent needs the feeling of oneness with you, that we are not separate from you. We are all together. We are working for our children together. Okay?
Why is it necessary? Because otherwise the child will grow up with dual personality, right? In the class, she might project herself to be very good. But when she goes home, she's something else. So if we have a good rapport between the parent and the guru, then it's the overall development of the child takes place.
I was telling you about
like the
this
cycle, Kamla, you can tell them.
I was telling you about the pilot boy. This boy was 4 years when he came to the class, and the mother was always complaining about him. The complaint was that the boy doesn't do maths at all. So I said, but why? So he doesn't like maths, she said. I said, no, there is something else which is important. So we invited the parent and the child to the home of the guru and spoke with him heart to heart what was happening. And the child explained that it is the teacher of that maths class that he did not like, and that is why he didn't enjoy the maths period.
Yes.
So it is important to see the source of the problem, not only tackle it superficially. Is that clear?
As Didi said, frequent parent meets are very essential for us so that we can have contact with the parents, and at the same time we know how the children behave. As the Nita Didi said, they'll have a dual role, because in the class we have a certain kind of, it's not discipline, they feel very joyous and happy in the Bal Vikas class, and when they go home it's a different environment. So we need to contact the parents. When we used to take Bal Vikas classes, as Didi said, we used to write letters to them. It's a reply card letter. We used to write to them how your child is behaving. Is he doing prayers regularly? Is he chanting Brahmarpanam before taking food? Everything. Now, some parents, they used to tell us, because of our child, all of us are chanting Brahmarpanam. We wrote it on a chart and we placed it near the dining hall. And before we start taking the food, we used to chant Brahmarpanam. So like that, we used to have the contact with parents. That is very, very essential. Taking Bal Vikas and making children happy, that's a different thing. But talking to parents and convincing them, and while talking to them continuously, many parents turned into Bal Vikas gurus also. In my experience, many, they came forward to take Bal Vikas classes and then joined in Bal Vikas group 1 and 2 training programs like that. So it is mutual. We need to contact with them very frequently. And as Didi said, the child is in between those two, Guru and the
1 minute, when we met a parent, we asked them, where do you eat your dinner? We eat it in front of the TV. We eat it in front of the TV. So that gave us an idea what is happening during dinner time. There is no prayer at all. So that the child and the parents are sitting around the TV and eating food and also watching the TV. Then we told them, do you know why we do the food prayer? The parents say, we don't listen to all this. We have no time. The father is reading the newspaper. The mother is making chapatis in the kitchen. And that's how the time is spent for watching TV. So we have to be careful that the situation is that the children are kept in a proper atmosphere when they are eating food. Because food is not only for the mouth, but for all the senses that we have to involve. You have to say something? Okay. Got it clear?
In other words, Kamla, you mean the digital behavior of the parents,
Yes.
right? And the digital behavior of the gurus also.
Either their mobile is on or the TV is on. That's it. This is common nowadays. Especially in my metropolitan city. In Bombay, it is vibrant. Everybody only sees the TV and plays on the mobile. That's all. Whether it's a parent or the guru or the child. So we have to be very careful that the child does not involve himself in watching TV and mobile at food time. Or another example is, one parent said that I allow him to read comics. I said, what comics? Only Archie. That's all. Nothing to worry about. At least he eats all the 3 chapatis. Otherwise, making him eat 3 chapatis is a nuisance. So you're feeding a pig instead of feeding a child. Giving him to eat 3 chapatis is your goal. That is not the goal of our Bal Vikas class. Our goal is that the child understands that the food is nutrition for the body, mind and soul. For all the 3 aspects of organization. Okay? Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam, for throwing light and in detail about how important it is for the parents and the guru to interact. I think it's one of the most important takeaway for us, which we have to understand that it is not only for the child, because the implementation of what is happening in the Bal Vikas class is more important. And I think the first and the most important part is, the food prayer and having the food without any gadgets. I guess all of us also have to implement it first, and then we should insist it on to the parents, children, everyone, right? Children look at us and they follow. So I think it is important for us to also follow it very implicitly. Yes. Thank you, Madam. Thanks for giving that elaborate explanation. So we are coming to the end of the first topic. So any questions from the audience? Anybody would like to ask?
Sairam, you can also invite their experiences, 1 or 2 experiences in this regard.
Yes. Anyone would like to share regarding this point, any of your experiences, or would like to ask any questions? Now the floor is open.
Sairam. Sairam, everybody. Almost all of us gurus are very interested and we are actively engaged in multiple role activities in the organization. As Veda teachers, chanters, bhajan singers, or we do seva, etc. There are times when this leads to a compromise in time, energy, and bandwidth that is needed for Bal Vikas activity. Where do we draw the line here? How can we ensure that we as gurus ensure that Bal Vikas gets the full attention and commitment that it needs without getting diluted?
The answer is in your question itself. If Bal Vikas must get the full attention, no sharing with anybody. It has to be full attention and sole attention. You cannot have multiple roles to play. Do your Bal Vikas, do it as your ultimate line of job and the best that you can do. As if it's the offering to Swami, the last offering that you have to give to Swami. That's your role that you have to play. Don't worry about what a bhajan guru is doing and what your Veda teacher is doing. Worry about what the Bal Vikas is doing in your life. Changes yourself first and then changes the other. That's very important. Because I remember once when in Bangalore itself, Swami told me, I asked him, what should I do now, Swami? So he said, Bal Vikas is your life. Make Bal Vikas your way of life. So that's how, if it was not for me only, it was for everybody here, that if you have chosen Bal Vikas, make it the way of your life, not sharing with anybody else. Be selfish to that extent. Keep Bal Vikas under you and continue doing it with the help of your juniors. There are a lot of gurus, young gurus who can do better than you. Involve them in your program and you will find that you will get a lot of help from Bal Vikas, young gurus. They will give you ideas also, which is very important because we are now getting old, so we have to take the help of young gurus to give you ideas to conduct Bal Vikas in a better and innovative manner. Jai Sai Ram.
No, there is a very administrative connotation to your question, sister. I'm very happy you raised this because as an All India President, I have my state president, district coordinators and state coordinators involved. You see, the Bal Vikas Guru and the Bal Vikas mission is the foremost mission of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. If you become Bal Vikas Guru, you are becoming a mini Sathya Sai Baba with all the powers that the big Sathya Sai Baba has. And you are blessed with this, and I am not exaggerating. What the question entails is that if you're a Bal Vikas Guru, definitely you must do seva and definitely you must do bhajan. But don't be greedy that I want to be a bhajan lead singer also, I want to go and lead in the seva also. Pick your choice, okay? The other two dimensions are for your personal growth. If I'm the All India President, I go to the bhajan as a person to sit for bhajan and help my sadhana. If I go to seva, I have to go there and see that I do seva for my sadhana. But if as an All India President I want to do everything at all the times, then that question is valid. Okay. Otherwise, this question not valid. And the problem is, the other dimension is my district president, state president, and All India President. They don't involve new people at all. So what happens when the All India President sends a directive, have 20 bhajans, have 10 blood donation camps. Now what is happening in the pool? There are only 10 people. In the olden days in Mumbai, there used to be a drama company. Those days there were no mics, there was no stage, nothing. And there were only very few people. So there was only one actor. Okay? The one actor, he announces before the drama that please, if I come from the right side of the stage, I'm Raja Bharthari. If I come from the left side, I'm Rani Pingala. Okay. So now that's happening to my Bal Vikas Guru, poor thing. She wants to do Bal Vikas, she wants to do everything, but she has no problem because she has to do bhajan also, she has to go for seva, she has to do Vidya Jyoti, she has to do Vidya Vahini. Choose. Be careful. People are, all office bearers want to succeed and tell the bosses that they have succeeded. You pick your choose. You don't become a guinea pig. Okay? Be careful about that.
Sairam, the thing is, because in our organization, we have introduced one book. Recently, I came across that self-assessment for the children. So we went to Puttaparthi and we got that book, and I found that that book is really very interesting and it's very good, not only for the children, but as well as for the parents.
And for the gurus.
Yeah, gurus, of course, we are also doing it, but children. So what I told the children, see, you have to daily basis, you'll have to fill up the whole diary for a full month. End of the month, you get it to me. I won't read, but I'll just see how many cross mark and how many tick marks are there.
How many ohms you put and how many
Yeah.
crosses?
So it is there. So initially when I saw the children were having lots of into.
Yeah.
Now the recently when I saw, I was so surprised to see mostly, 90% it's all home.
Correct.
So that helps the children as well as the parents, and even the parents have started taking that book from me. I said it charity starts from home.
Yes.
So when you start, your children also will do it. So they are doing it. I'm very fortunate to have such a nice organization in the book. Thank you.
Good. This is a self-audit book. It's called a self-audit book. And it's very simple. Just that's 1 minute you can, in the nights, before you go to bed, put ohm or cross, what have you done, what you have not done. It's very simple. It was started by Salla Auntie before. Now it's going on, and we have continued with this process. Spiritual diary, self-assessment, self-audit group. You can call it anything. The name hardly matters, but the feeling of doing it is important.
ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಸೇರಿದವರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಡೈರಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದು ಶುರು ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಸುಮಾರು ಹಲವಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಡೈರಿಯನ್ನು ಬರೆಯುವ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಂಟಿಯವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಗುರುಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಪೋಷಕರು ಆ ಡೈಲಿ ಡೈರಿಯನ್ನು ಒಂದು ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಲ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಬರೆದು ಆ ದಿನ ಕಳೆದು ಹೋದರೆ ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಬೆಳೆದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಜುವಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಆ ಮಗುವಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಮತ್ತು ಯಾರಿಗಾದರೂ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಮುಟ್ಟಿಸ್ತೀವಿ.
Sharvari Sairam, you can ask 1 or 2 success stories as far as these questions are concerned.
Sir.
The question is a problem or an issue or a challenge, right? Some of them must have overcome this challenge and be successful about this. If we can know their own experience in succeeding on this issue, probably that can be replicated all around Karnataka.
Yeah. There is a group discussion in the afternoon schedule, sir, where most of them will be participating and sharing their experiences as well as their inputs and suggestions as well. We will definitely take those points during that. Thank you. ಹಾಗೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೇನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ದರೆ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಎದ್ದು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ.
The problem with while having food, seeing TV and etc. is we is taught at a very young age itself. So the child goes home, and when their parents serve them the food, the child says to the parent, "No, you should not be eating while watching TV." The parents come back and tell, this is what the child says, and he or she switches off the TV. So that age group, the parents also want them to learn. There is no academic pressure, there is nothing. And the bond between the teacher and the child also is so strong that I take for the toddler as well as group 2. The same children have come till group 2. I feel that bond is so strong that there is no need for me to tell the parents to send the child. They automatically come.
Yes.
The first topic comes to an end now. We have 2 more topics for discussion. So I request Balvikas Gurus, Srimati Sri Jayanti and Srimati Jayashri Amarnath sister to come over and take over. Sairam.
Om Shri Sairam. Offering ourselves at the Divine Lotus feet. Now, we will move to the second topic of today's discussion. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಸೆಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ವಿ ಸಿ? ವಿ ಸಾ ಹೌ ಟು ಡೀಲ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಏಜ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್, ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಗೈಡ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ಸ್, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕರ್ಸೋದು ಬಾಲ್ ವಿಕಾಸ್ಗೆ. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ವೆರ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 40 minutes ನಾವು ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಈಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಒಂದು 10 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇರೋ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? ಆರ್ ದ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟುಡೇ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಈವನ್ ದ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ 10 years ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಈವನ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್? ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್? Yes. So, clearly, why so many changes, right? So many changes, rapid changes, social changes, technology changes, and way of life. Everything has changing very rapidly. So, what do we need to do? We also need to adapt ourselves. Yes. Creatively, how are we going to approach our Bal Vikas classes to make it relatable to the children? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್, ದೇರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅವರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್? ಸೊ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ ವಿ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ 2 different worlds? ಸೊ ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ Neetu ma'am and the other panelists. We'll be asking a few questions, and we request all of you to note down if you have any doubts. And towards the end of the session, it can be connected to this topic for this discussion, because we have one more theme there. So please keep your questions to this topic, and then we'll take it forward. So the first topic, first question, ma'am, is how can we make the topics in the syllabus more relatable to the real world experiences of the children today, and how can we connect current events or trends to illustrate spiritual values? I will just take a moment to tell them in Kannada the question. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎದುರಿಸುವ ನಿಜ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಅನುಭವಗಳಿಗೆ ಪಠ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ವಯಿಸಬಹುದು? ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳು ವಿವರಿಸಲು ಈಗಿನ ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಈಗ ಉತ್ತರನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ.
Om Shri Sai Ram. It's a beautiful question put to all of us, in fact. As we see, and Sister Kamla also spoke about the challenges, the children are facing those challenges. And it's very difficult for us also today to help them to grow. Reason being that they are very mature before time. They are well informed, they are well equipped, and they have an environment where they have multiple influences of media, definitely, and that is really making them argumentative and skeptical. They will only trust our ideas if we give them real life experiences and we support it with evidences. And here we must be very clear that when we are talking about making the class interesting, we must not deviate from the soul and essence of the syllabus. And that is to help the child for his overall development and yet satisfying his inquisitive nature. Let us remember that Bal Vikas is not only a class, it is a sacred community where the children come together, they share, they cooperate, they connect with each other. How? With the loving presence of a guru who has full faith in Swami. This is very, very essential. When we are talking about interest and we are talking about making the syllabus more interesting, we can only do it when we have full faith in his mission and we have full surrender and faith in Swami. And second is the inspiration directly from Bhagwan, from his life and from his teachings. And third, what is our role to make the children what? To transform the child. The ultimate goal is to transform self, of course, in the process, but then to transform the child when we've transformed also ourselves. And to make the entire syllabus interesting, we have to review our methodology and our approach. Now take, for example, in the syllabus we have Omkar, right? How we all know, and I'm not going to go into the details, how do we chant the Om? Or what are the benefits of Om? But why can't we take the little children outside and make them listen to the chirping of the birds, to make them listen to the swaying of the trees, to the ripples of the river, the audio clippings we can have of the engine going on wheels. We can have the ringing of the bells, of the temple bells, the beating of the drums,
the flying of the aeroplane.
You know, what is it all? To sensitize them to the sound.
Aeroplane also.
Yes, aeroplane also. So when they listen to the sound, then we can tell them that this sound is all over. It pervades the entire cosmos. And we have a scientist over here. The NASA scientists, what they have, they've captured the sound in space, the sound of Om in space. Right? And this is also even the sound of the sun that comes. It is the sound of Om. So when I was doing that exercise with the children, one of the mothers, she rang me up. And she said, my child is so excited because we have a temple nearby. And she says that she can listen to the sound of Om. Mama, can't you? And the mother said, I can't listen. And the child said, I can listen to the sound of Om. Right? Now, why can that child listen to them? Why can't we listen to the sound of Om? It is because it is in the mother's womb that the child is listening to the sound of Om, to her heartbeat. And that sound of Om goes on. But once she comes out of the mother's womb, the distraction outside does not allow her to listen to that sound. So we have what? Silent sitting. Silent sitting, what does it do? And how do we make it interesting? Again, make the children sit silently, listen to the darshan music, the child can listen only to make him attentive. And yet at the same time, when he's listening, you can even tell a story of Vivekananda and meditation, the game, and make the children play. A role play can be done on that. And then even to make it more interesting, what I thought I could do for silent sitting, I wanted to do it with a difference. So I told the children, okay, now sit quietly and you just try to visualize somebody whom you love very, very much. Whom you love very, very much. After the session was over, I gave them only about 2 seconds, not much. And I asked each one. Some said mother, some said Swami, some said father, some said friend. And you know what one little child said? Motichur Laddu. Now why? At this point of time, gurus, let me tell you, because they are all children it was not that she was playful. The children laughed. It was only, she loved it. She loved it very much and it helped her to keep silent. But then what do I do as a guru over there? I will not crush her feelings. I will not say it is not what was expected out of you. That is not what is expected of a guru. At that point, you can just not stretch the matter. Just tell the child, do you love the laddu more than your mother or more than God? And then just finish it off. Just finish it off. The message has gone to the child, right? So this is the way then from silent sitting, let us take Gayatri Mantra, right? The very interesting way of Gayatri Mantra also is to tell, the practice and the habit formation is very, very necessary. Tell the child that when you chant the Gayatri Mantra, your memory increases, right? And your intellect is sharpened. You are protected at any point of time. So when I did this with my children of chanting the Gayatri Mantra, having a bath, or when they begin their classes, right? Or before going to sleep, then what happened? One of the children, she came to the Balvika's class and she said, Auntie, you know what happened today? In the class, we are talking about the present generation. What one of the brothers did, he took out a knife and he showed the knife at the other boy's neck, and he said, you are not giving me back my book, and I'll cut your neck. Right. And the knife was very near the neck. And the teacher also got very scared. But Auntie, you taught us that the only thing that can protect is Gayatri Mantra. So I started chanting the Gayatri Mantra. Then another 2-3 girls and the whole class started to chant Gayatri Mantra, and the boy took away the knife and he sat silently. Such is the power of God. This is what I would say reflection. When the child comes, and many children I know, they say that we forgot a question in the class and the answer came back because of Gayatri. Right? And we sometimes just tell about what even Swami has to say. He said once that the plane did not crash. Somebody said, Swami, you know that plane crashed. They could talk like that to Swami. Swami said the plane would have never crashed if one of them would have chanted the Gayatri Mantra. It's so important. And on the other hand, one of the students, it was a very cloudy day and there was rainstorm. And there was a lot of high voltage, a wire which fell on the student. Nothing happened to that student. Why? Because Swami said constantly he's chanting the Gayatri Mantra. Such is the power. It is by these daily life, real life experiences, you can tell the children these kind of things. And let us go to meditation. When we talk about the Jyoti meditation and how meditation helps us to listen to our inner voice, at this point of time, I would like to tell you, please give examples of real life people also. No? I take, for example, our President, Draupadi Murmu. We all know that she went through a very, very hard time. She lost her husband. She lost her son. She lost her in-laws. She was a tribal woman, a simple woman who didn't even have one meal a day. Everything is lost for her in her life. And then how did she come out? How did she bounce back from that adversity? Only because of meditation. Only because of meditation. So give these kind. Even we have a great scientist like Art Ong Jumsai. I don't know whether you've heard his name. He's a great, great devotee of Swami. And he said the Viking project that he was working on, he could never get that design. He could never get, every time he showed it to the NASA team, they would reject it. And what did he do one day? He just left everything. I'm a failure, he thought. So he went up to the mountains and he started to just go into deep silence. And as he went into that silence, there was a flash. And as the flash came, the design of the project came and it was accepted. Ask the children, Newton discovered what?
Gravity.
The law of gravity. He was sitting under the tree and he saw the apple falling, and with that came the law of gravity. You also have been seeing the apple falling daily. Why is it that you have not come out with any theory? It is because that we are not able to concentrate. So meditation will give you that concentration, and once you become a doctor, you will become doctors who will discover medicine. You will become scientists who will do discoveries. You will become engineers who will discover many more things. So meditation helps you in discovering. Even talk about the breathing. You know, Baba talks about take in God and leave out your ego. Talk to them about this Thailand, how the 12 children, they were just caught up in a cave. And there was absolutely no surety of them coming out of that cave. Then what happened? Their coach was a very good coach. He started telling the children, do breathing exercises, do breathing exercises. He calmed them, gave them that positivity. And immediately out of the blue, one diver came into that cave, and then came all the other security forces internationally, and they saved those children. Had at that point of time that thing was not given to the children of breathing, they would have lost their cool and all would have died. And that also, the emotions, meditation helps us to control. So we can play a game also at this point of time. Tell the children, I asked you just now, look at each other and show anger. Look at each other and show anger. Please. Look at each other and show anger. Your anger looks very beautiful. You should not be smiling, please. Show anger. Quickly show jealousy. Show jealousy. Hatred. Sorrow. Now smile. Joyful. Okay, we finished this. Then ask the children, what facial expression you liked the most? Huh? A smile? A joy on the face? Was it? Which emotions brought the most wrinkles on your face?
Sorrow.
Yes, sorrow, or even anger, jealousy, right? So if you have joy and smile which brings no wrinkles, you don't have to go to the beauty parlor, isn't it? You don't have to go to the beauty parlor. You know, these emotions, these are the things which we must bring it across with exercises to the children. When we are talking about Bhaja Govindam, right? Then a shloka which says, what is that? Tvaimai Chana Traiko Vishnu. Vishnu is everywhere. When you see a dog coming under the bus, what do? What do you feel?
Sairam, you call out.
You call out Sairam. But maybe. And why do you call out Sairam? And
God should save that child.
to save that dog, to save that dog. Why to save that dog? He's just a dog. Why? Huh?
It's also created by God.
It is also created, very good. It is also created by God. The same God, the same Atma that is in the dog is also in us. So also the plants. Here I will not go into detail, but again Jumsaat made them do an experiment on the plants with 18 children, 18 plants. And he told them to give love. 17 plants, they bloomed when was given love. But one flower did not bloom. And the child was asked, why is that your plant is not bloomed? He said, because you said to give love, I said, let me test and give hatred. I started saying you're bad, you're not good. He went on. And what happened? The plant faded. Right? So when talking about this, what we talk, and at this point of time, you know what happened? One of the children in the Balvika said, auntie, in the class, because of this Pahalgam terrorist, they attacked and they killed so many people. So in the class, what happened is that there was a Muslim boy. So all the children said, he's a Muslim, we will not sit with him. And they started bullying that boy because he was a Muslim. But auntie, you said that God is in everyone. Brotherhood of man and fatherhood of God. So I made friends with that Muslim boy. And look at the confidence. This is what Balvikas does. It builds your confidence to stand up on your own, to stand up for the values that Balvikas has taught you. And not to shirk away from situations and do what the others are doing. Then the children will follow you. Because what the Swami says, it's your behavior, it's your character which defines Bhagwan also. As our revered All India President was just saying, it's that what Swami says, that it's your behavior that reflects me. Right? And that this you have to instill in the children. Like that, there's so many things in the syllabus which we bring. Again, the nasty words that the children say. You know, very nasty words sometimes, harsh words. But what does Swami say? To talk politely. That also there's a shloka in Gita. Here also you can make them do an exercise. Just close all your wrist. Close your wrist. If you know this game, don't do it. And the other one will open the wrist. Please open the wrist. Please open the wrist. All of you, open the wrist. I can see. Force. Scratching. Right? This is what children do. Right? They'll do anything. They'll scratch you. They'll scramble you. They'll do everything. They squeeze you. They'll even sprain your fist. Right? But then, when we are telling them to talk softly, politely, it was very easy. Kamla, can I open your wrist? Please allow me to open your wrist.
I know the game, sir.
No, you open it then. So easy. So easy. But we make things difficult. Simple things, we make it very complicated. Our Swami is very simple. He gives us lot of examples in a very, very simple way. So Gurus, let us be simple in our ways. Let us be innovative. Let us take real life situations. And then, if you have all these things in the matter with you to the child, they will listen to it. And they will imbibe those values. That is very important for every lesson that you take up. These are just running samples which I have given you. You can think of many more. Jai Sai Ram.
One minute, very nice. Neeta gave a very good example. Just one thing about prayers which I can tell you, which you can share with your children or with your peers, Especially in the adolescent group, this helps a lot. There are 3 steps in prayer which you must teach the children. Prayerize, picturize, actualize. Prayerize, picturize, actualize. When you pray, imagine the prayer. And next, picturize the prayer in your imagination. Then only will it be actualized. So this is important that we practice prayerize. Next is picturize. And third is actualize. That's exactly what Neeta did. She imagined something, she did it, and then actualized it in her life. So we also have to practice this with the children. But we must first transform it in our own lives. Then only can we do it with the children. I gave an example of prayerize, picturize, actualize to one of my parents who came to me with a divorce matter. You know, I am a lawyer by profession, and therefore she came to me with a divorce petition. I said, I don't take such matters. If you do mutual consent, I will help you. So she said, anything, but I just want to get away from this man. So I said, what do you want to do? She said, actually, I want to go back to him. At present, I don't want this divorce to take place. I said, then picturize the situation when you're going back to him. Then picturize the situation where you're happily living. And exactly in 6 months, when the petition is to come to a final stage, that's the time when the parent came to me and said, I got no divorce. He left that woman and came back to me. So that is prayerize, picturize, actualize. We have to prayerize the good, actualize the good, and conceptualize the good. So prayerize, picturize, and conceptualize. Prayer, imagine that everything good is happening in your life. Picture good to happen, and in the end, actually it will happen. This is exactly in a 6-month story, which a divorce petition came to me, and after 6 months, the divorce did not go through because the man left the other woman and came back to his wife. So these are examples which you can tell in your life, which are real examples. But for this, you need to do a little bit of reading. Every night you must, before putting your head on the pillow, you must read something good and sleep with these good thoughts in your mind. Jai Sai Ram. Be good, see good. Be good, do good. Be good, do good, see good.
And you know, what is, you can even, I'm sure Karnataka must be full of value songs, right? That is very, very important. Now take, for example, the senses. It can be careful little eyes what you see. Be careful little eyes what you see. There is Sai within us, He's always within us. So be careful, little eyes, what you see, ear, tongue, right? So like that. Then when we talk about God being everywhere, in Hindi also there's this lovely song, किसने बनाया फूलों को फूलों को फूलों को, किसने बनाया फूलों को बनाया फूलों को, भगवान ने बनाया फूलों को फूलों को फूलों को, भगवान ने बनाया फूलों को बनाया फूलों को, किसने बनाया हम सबको हम सबको हम सबको, दादा तितली को, इसको, everything बनाया. So value songs go a long way in giving those messages, right?
Thank you, ma'am. After listening to you, I can't help feeling I was a Bal Vikas student in your class. And you gave such wonderful examples, very practical. And I'm sure all of us gurus will take these home and try to implement them in our classes. Thank you so much, ma'am.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪರಿಪಕ್ವತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಈಗಿನ ಒಂದು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜಾಲತಾಣಗಳು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೊರಗಿನ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆ ವಿಷಯ ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡುವ, ವಾದ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ವರ್ತನೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯಸಾಯಿ ಬಾಲ ವಿಕಾಸ್ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಮನೋಭಾವವನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ, ಆ ಇಮೋಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಆ ಕಾಮ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಲೋಭಗಳು ಇದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸತ್ತಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆ ಸಂತೋಷ ಗುಣ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಗುಣಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಖದ ಮೇಲೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಾಣಿಸತ್ತಾ, ಈ ಥರ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಆಟಗಳಾಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ, ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀತಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಕಣ ಕಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಓಂಕಾರ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ಹಕ್ಕಿಗಳ ಚಿಲಿಪಿಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನದಿಗಳ ನಾದ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಓಂಕಾರ ಅಡಗಿದೆ. ಮಗು ತಾಯಿಯ ಗರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇರುವಾಗ ಆ ಓಂಕಾರ ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ಟಿಂದ ಇನ್ನರ್ನೆಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಂವಾದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಮೇಲಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಬಾಲ್ ವಿಕಾಸ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ ಆ ತರಗತಿ ಸಂತೋಷಭರಿತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಿಜವಾದ ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಕತೆಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕತೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಮಲಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಆ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿತ್ರೀಕರಣವನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಚಿತ್ರೀಕರಣವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮೊದಲು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ, ಚಿತ್ರೀಕರಣ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾರ್ಯರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಒಳ್ಳೆದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಸಾಯಿರಾಮ್.
Ma'am, this is the next question. We all follow the 5 techniques in our Bal Vikas classes. Regarding the technique of storytelling, when we narrate stories to group 1 and 2 children, many of the stories are in a time period which the children can't relate to. And they find it difficult to assimilate those things. So how can we adapt these wonderful stories which are so meaningful? We don't want to let them go. those stories to the present times? How can we adapt them? Can you please give us some suggestions?
What is very important, we must not forget, as Bal Vikas Gurus, that even when we are relating the stories, it should be a combo. It should be a combo of the traditional as well as the modern. We must be able to tell them stories about mythology, epics, our rich literature, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the life of saints of different faith. All that is also very, very necessary. It's not only the modern stories that we are talking about. Whether it's the Gita Shlok, whether they are Bhaj Govindam, whether they are anything from the syllabus, we must know what stories to say when. We should be storehouse of those stories. And these stories are very much available. They are from Chinnakatha, Swami's Chinnakatha. How beautifully, group 1, 2, 3, all the values that are there, what Swami has, the stories that he had told us. Then also we have Storybook for Children, group 1, 2, and 3. The website, the Sri Sathya Sai website, number of stories are even there. There are no dearth of stories. And then also with the recent, especially the little children, they're the Aesop fables. They love animal stories. We can help them to imbibe those stories with the help of stories with animals, right? So I would like to say over here that it is the Guru who should first be the storehouse of these stories. They should be power-packed with stories. And when to relate at what, now here I'm not here to tell you what all stories you have to relate, but the fact lies that in the syllabus, the content and the topic, whatever story relates to what, the children even, it is not that today I'm not going to tell them about Ramayana or not about Gita from the Mahabharata, because those are also very, very valuable stories which the children should hear, right? And also from their everyday experiences, right? There are a number of stories regarding the scientists, the politicians, the good politicians, you know, the stories, their life history, in fact, which we can tell them. The life history of Abdul Kalam, for that matter. The life history of the Einstein. You all know about Einstein, and children know about all these scientists. So we can gather all these stories. We can go to the website, Sri Sathya. We need not go anywhere, I'm telling you. Just learn, see the stories and read the stories from the Chinnakatha. Read the stories from the storybook of children. Do you have all that in your thing? Is it available? I don't hear anything from anyone. Please raise your hands. Are these stories? Very few hands. Very few hands. All the gurus should be having these thing. A library should be there with the stories that I'm the thing. Then again, how do we make these stories very interesting to the children, right? We can have animated stories. Children love that. Somebody was saying they like the Archie stories, and they have those other different kind of stories which they look into the TV. And at this point of time, we can have these kind of animated stories of honesty and all the other values as such. We can have films, little video clippings, right, of the stories. The stories can even be told with the help of puppets. We need not only have the media to help us to tell the stories. We can make posters or pictures also. I tell you about the Thirsty Crow I asked because I'm teaching the teachers, the students to become teachers. I told them, I said, now the Thirsty Crow, you make a chart of the Thirsty Crow, 4 in sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the children came to me. Half of them brought those pictures from the computer, right? And the pictures were a little faded. I didn't like it very much. But of course, it was there. It was like instant coffee, going to the computer, taking it out. Another set of girls, they drew the thirsty crow. They drew the sequence of the story of the thirsty crow, and it was so beautiful. It took time. Definitely it took time. Maybe 3-4 hours to make it. And the others spent 400 rupees to get it out from the computer. So what does Swami really want out of us? To become creators, creativity, composers. He does not want us that we should be computers and get everything out of computer and waste money. Maybe we are saving time, but we are not giving the best to the children. So allow them to do that. Picture cutouts are so beautiful to relate stories to the children. But I tell you over here, you all are the best storytellers. You all are the best storytellers. As Kamla was going on saying, the eye contact is very important when you're telling them the story. I tell you, when I was taking a Bal Vikas class, a 5-year-old child in group 1 was sitting next to me. I told them a story, and after some time, I started asking them questions. And they were answering my questions. And one little girl who was sitting beside me, I said, "You've not answered to my question. I'm asking you this question." And she said, "I'm not answering because, Auntie, you did not look at me. You did not look at me." My heart was so touched. I just put her on my lap and I started looking at her. The eye contact, the feeling of being wanted is very, very important, right? And then, yes. So whenever these stories, your modulation in voice is also important. Your modulation in voice, your articulation. When you're sad, how sad you should be. When you're happy, as I made you do all these exercises, these are very, very important. The pitch of your voice, not so loud that everybody gets disturbed, and not so low that people cannot hear. As I was going through my teaching practice one day, I went into a class to observe my teacher giving a class. And you won't believe, 2 boys were sitting at the back and they were eating apples and talking to each other. I said, "What are you doing?" "We are telling a story." I said, "And what is that teacher doing in front?" "She's telling the story to herself," because the teacher had opened her book and she was telling the story. How should the story be told? Full preparation. Prepare your story. That is very important. The child wants to hear those stories from you. They are imbibing the values indirectly by looking at you, by observing you. They'll do everything that you are doing when they go back home. The way you have related the story will have a greater impact in their minds, and they will relate those stories, and their parents will know exactly what is going on in the class because they'll come and tell them. So well-prepared story, not saying something and then forgetting. This forgetting business, or even when we are having, as one of my sisters over here said, "Can I have a poll before we start this session? But let me practice it first because maybe something goes wrong." That's exactly what's happened. We use a lot of all these digital things, but when they go wrong, that is where the child gets very disturbed. So it's very necessary that you as gurus be the best storytellers. The Guru Kathas, about Swami? How much we used to listen to that and enjoy it. Till today, I remember those stories. The Guru Katha, the way it was related. So this is what I would like to talk about stories.
Ma'am, I just wanted to tell you something that happened in the class. When we narrated the story of Dhruva, the child asked, "How did the mother allow a little child to go into the forest? My mother will never allow. And how can such a small boy go somewhere like this and do?" they are not able to relate to it. So, of course, I just told the child, it is the faith of the mother that God will protect the child. And she said, but the child didn't seem to be convinced, and they said, "My mother doesn't allow me to go anywhere. How she allowed them to go to the forest?" These are such things which come up in the class. So
even when you're telling them a story, it should be followed with questions, and we should reflect over those questions and the answers that the children are giving.
Yes,
that is very necessary. It can be done even in the form of role plays.
Yes.
So to have a greater impact of that story, but questions like probing questions. Now take, for example, Newton and Diamond, the dog. What happened? You tell the story that how, what the dog did. Newton lit the lamp and he had all these books over there. The dog came and what did he do? He dropped the candle and his entire research got over.
Burnt, yeah.
Finished. Now, don't complete the story. Ask the question to the children that what happened then? What did Newton do? What do you think Newton would have done at that point of time? Some will say, could be that he scolded the dog. Some will say beat the dog. Some will say threw the dog out. Some good child, or maybe some who has really thought better because he loves the dog very much. No, auntie, he did not do anything with the dog. Right? So at that point of time, who was at fault then? Was the dog at fault or was Newton at fault? These are probing questions. Reflect over whatever you said. Because at that point of time, yes, even Newton was at fault. Why? Because he left everything like that, in a disorderly manner. And what did actually Newton do? He did not say anything to the dog. He said, all is over, and he went away silently. Because he knew the fault is not with the dog. The dog does not know. But he knows. He could have kept his books properly, and that gives a lesson. They come up with a lot of questions which you should be able to handle, like I told you about Motichur Laddu.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
At that alert to answer. If you are not able to answer, please, there's a caution also. Don't give the wrong answer for heaven's sake.
We tell them we'll find out and tell you later. Yeah.
Not even. I'll let you know tomorrow.
And next class. Yes, yes.
Like take for example, I give you an example in the class with my teachers. I tell them, suppose for God's sake, if you make a mistake on the blackboard when you go to teach the little children, if you make a mistake, suppose you're writing a word great, and you miss out the word A and you write G-R-E-T, and the children say, ma'am, it's wrong spelling. How humiliating. Then you say, no, children, I'm very glad you're able to pinpoint at this mistake. I was just testing you. So what is it? I just tested. You are getting out of the situation. You're not. Yes, but never scold the children for what it is. No? These are some little hints that we should think.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Those were good tips. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move to the next question. Yeah. Before we move to the next question, we have a little activity. Okay? So I want all of you to take out your phones. So in your Safari, whatever, or Google Chrome, whatever is your search thing where you search, please type www.menti.com. www.menti.com. What is it asking you? It entering a code. Okay, I'll read out the code for you. 5742 7416. 5742 7416. Question is appearing? Question ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? Okay. So, have you used media aids such as videos or PPTs in your Balvikas class? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. Please, frequently ಅಂದರೆ very often. Occasionally, ಯಾವಾಗಲಾದರೂ. Never, ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. So, 3 options ಇದೆ. So, please type your answers. Frequently is less. Occasionally is maximum. Everybody finished? Yes. So, ma'am, we have a lot of people who are occasionally using multimedia aids in their Balvikas class. There are a few who never use, and there are a similar few who frequently use. Okay. So, go to the next slide. Just down you are getting one next slide. Okay. So, now this question is for those who have typed occasionally or frequently. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಅಕೇಶನಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಬಾಲ್ವಿಕಾಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್? ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್, story based animation, songs or bhajans with visuals, interactive PPTs, charts or posters. So you can choose only one. So choose your best, whatever you thought worked best. Ma'am, as you were saying in the story session, story based animations, 46% of them feel story-based animations work very well.
Good.
And the next, I think it is all very closely divided. Short videos, songs, bhajans, interactive PPTs, charts and posters. Oh, 50%, almost 50% think story-based
And
animations.
even those digital quiz.
Huh?
They can relate with
Because they can relate with it. Yes. So thank you all for participating in this little quiz. So our next question is,
I think you've already answered the question in having this kind of an exercise.
no, ma'am, we just want to know. See, already children are exposed to a lot of stuff,
Yes.
right? So how can we make this AIDS meaningful in the sense that it doesn't become just like an entertainment or, a distraction? ಸೊ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು ಮನೋರಂಜನೆಗಾಗಿಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಬೋರ್ಡಮ್ ಇಂದ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ purposeful agi, how can we make it purposefully used?
Again, as I'm telling you, as I said for the stories, that you should know when to use what kind of a medium, right? Now, for stories, if you feel like you were saying, you have used animated stories, right? You can use those kind, like you can even have what I would call a little video clipping of a story or a film where you can show those. Because what are actually the media? It is only a handle. It is only a handle to increase your efficiency of teaching. Your content, the delivery of your content becomes enhanced when you use the digital platform. Right? But what actually is necessary, that the gurus are a handle by themselves. It is the care and compassion of a guru, which is very, very necessary. And all these digital medias that we are talking about, stories and not even stories. Now take, for example, the chanting. We have the Satyasai Media, Shri Satyasai Media Center, right? Would I call it that I'm not going to see it or it is not beneficial for me? No, whatever, wherever we can get the best without making it an entertainment, we procure that and give that best to the children. The media center, we learn what? The chanting of Vedas, we learn the good tunes, the bhajans, yes, all those things are there. And then in the media center, in fact, I get so much of ideas regarding the cultural programs, the Parthi Yatra and all the programs that come over there, the festivals that are celebrated also live. And the children are imbibing all that in their Balvikas classes. So isn't that media very beneficial for us?
Yes.
And so also we have the digital quiz. And we have the interactive slides also.
Right.
So these kind of things regarding whatever content you are giving them, but let the focus not be on the media. The focus should be on, the focus should be on what? Yes, on the content. On the content, not on the media. Not how beautifully you are using that media. And how you are going to use it, when you are going to use it, that is very, very important. The how and the when.
Okay. So I think all those of us who put never, will you try using something in this manner? Please go and try to use some small snippets from Media Center, from our own Balvikas websites. The shlokas have that.
The PPTs, especially the PPTs can be explained beautifully with the help of him. But they can never replace a guru.
Yes.
It's
Thank
not
you.
that because they are looking at the PPTs and looking at thing, electricity goes, there is no PPT, this Guru is silent, I don't know. That should not be. You should be able to take over when the digital is not supporting you. Yes, always ready. Yes, the focus is on the Guru, not on the media.
What are some ways of offering experiential learning for group 1, 2, and 3 children?
Yes. Please,
She will just tell
Gurus,
it in
at this point of time, understand what is experiential learning. That is practical spirituality, living your spirituality in your day-to-day life. Whatever theory we have imbibed in our classes, we put it into practice. That is
Also, he mentioned about experiential.
yes. No? We have time. We don't have. Yes, it is all.
Yes.
Right? Now take for example, for just one example I'll give and I'll finish or that should be enough. Like take for example Abdul Kalam. He was in his 8th grade or 5th grade when the teacher was talking to him about flight. None of them understood. So he drew a sketch and he took them out near the sea beach and he made them observe the seabirds. And the moment he saw the seabirds flying and the diagram that the teacher had drawn, immediately, they all understood. And in fact, Kalam said that I understood about flight. I understood about that flight and it ignited a spark in me. And then that made him into a missile scientist. That was what? It was hand-on demonstration. It was showing and learning. Right? Little children, tell them that when they go back home, if you're talking about cleanliness, that how they should put all their clothes in order. Do little things perfectly well. You don't have to do very good, big things. Narayan Seva, little children, group 1, let them give water. Right? Let them give the patals. Then as they grow older, they understand the value and they do. Now take them for into the orphanages, the blind, deaf and dumb. I have taken children who are elderly children, the youth to old age home and how much they have cried over there listening to the stories. So if you practically, and even that piggy bank for the little children, how they store up their money, saving money, and then they take it to the orphanage. Whenever they have not eaten the chocolate, they want to give it to them. The sharing, the caring, all these love all, serve all, everything comes only from experience. I remember I have attended the 3 summer courses, and it was the All India meeting, the Sevadal meeting, and I was the Sevadal in charge. It was the All India meeting Swami himself took for the Sevadals. And then after we finished that meeting, you know what he said? Now come on, all of you. I changed the entire program of the summer course. In the morning, there will be theory classes for the youth, and all you Sevadals coordinators, you will go and they will have practical lessons in the afternoon. So there the children went to the villages to do Gram Seva, and they did the cleaning, and we were supposed to be monitoring them, guiding them. And Swami himself came in his car and he would see children practically doing these kind of things. So it is the practical application which will help the little children to learn the values. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, we'll hand over the session to Gayatri Swaminathan and Sharda Subramaniam.
So we'll now proceed to the next round of panel discussion. The topic of the discussion is basically how to motivate gurus and children to involve themselves in selfless seva. So just to set in the context, modern man, when he's unable to perceive any personal immediate benefit in whatever he's undertaking, he's very hesitant to invest his time, energy, and effort, ma'am. So, in this context, how do we relate the ancient wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyeva Adhikaraste, Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, to modern man's current thinking and outlook of what is in it for me? How am I going to benefit from whatever I'm doing? And this holds true for the Balvika's children also and parents particularly. So how do we inculcate these values of value of selfless seva in children and to develop that in the parents?
I'll quickly translate this into Kannada. So, ಕರ್ಮಣ್ಯೇ ವಾಧಿಕಾರಸ್ತೆ ಮಾ ಫಲೇಶು ಕದಾಚನ ಎಂಬ ಶ್ಲೋಕವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರೂ ತಿಳಿದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗಿನ ಜನರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ನನಗೇನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೇನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮನೋಭಾವನೆ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಬಾಲ ವಿಕಾಸ್ ಗುರುಗಳಾಗಿರುವ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಿಷ್ಕಾಮ ಕರ್ಮ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಷ್ಕಾಮ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪೋಷಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನನ್ನು ನಾವೀಗ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
Okay, Sairam to everyone, and let me offer my pranams to Bhagavan. Actually, this is a continuation to the topics that we have with our sisters here on this dais. The Bal Vikas Gurus, and this can be possible only by Bal Vikas Gurus by practicing the 5 human values and sealing on desires and many other things. And the feeling that Mamatma Sarva Bhutantaratma, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. If we can see God in everything, then only we can have this thought of doing this karma, this work or action. So we need to teach this concept to children, because nowadays, as they said, there is always a conflict between tradition and modernity, and for everything we expect what it is for me and what I'll gain from this action or act. So this conflict is always there. When Swami said when we apply jnana and bhakti to it, then only we can reach to that feeling that our job is to do the karma, to do the action only. And let us not wait for the result. That the result part is God's part. Every time we need to have the feeling that I have done my best. Rest is in God's hand. So every work related to God is, every good work related to God is God's work. We all know that. So ultimately, God will give us the satisfaction, and God will consider it and take it as a good action only. So, as we have Bhagavad Gita slokas in our Group 2 syllabus also, we teach children these things. And it is very difficult to tell children not to expect any result, do seva and don't expect result. For that, the Guru has to prepare many things. The Guru has to convince the child, and the Guru has to teach the child about many things. So, the teacher has to be a role model to them. What all we are doing, what all we preach, we have to put it in practice. Then only the child will follow us sincerely and truly. And if you are telling him, if you are talking to him about seva and service and other things, and don't expect the result and all, our job is to do the seva, that's all. But we need to inculcate in the mind of the child about the value of it also. Then only we can do it. For example, take for example sealing on desires, where we'll teach our Bal Vikas children in the class about don't waste food, don't waste power, don't waste energy, and don't waste money. All these things we used to tell them with citing with many stories and examples. I have a personal experience here. In one of my classes, I used to take Bal Vikas class in a school in Guntur Mandir, where we have more than 300 children. So it's a practice of the parents. Every day they used to, while sending them to school, the parents, they used to give them some money for buying something outside school. That's a regular practice everywhere. Maybe it's a practice here. So I saw this and I told the children not to buy anything outside, Nana. Why don't you save that money? For a few days, there was a lot of resistance from the children. My papa is giving and my mama is giving. Why this auntie is stopping us not to buy anything outside and all? And slowly I tried them. Let us use this for a good cause. So if you have 10 rupees in your hand, we will save some money out of it. And at the end, we will do some good work. So slowly, out of resistance, they started accepting me, and I put a big box there, and they started dropping the money, and slowly the parents started giving them less money. They know that this auntie is taking that money and putting it in the dibbi. So instead of 10 rupees, they started giving 5 rupees, 2 rupees like that. So after it went on the whole year, and at the end of the next academic year, I told all my Bal Vikas children, Nana, let us buy notebooks, pens, geometry boxes, color pencils, and many things, because it's a huge amount. And to whom we will give these things? We have 2 orphanages attached to our mandir there in Guntur. So if we used to take Bal Vikas classes, and we all Bal Vikas gurus, we contribute something to the orphanage children. So I told my Bal Vikas children, we will do that. So we invited the state president for that program. And the state president, it so happened that he was there on that day, and we asked him to start this program. And all the children were there. I was with them. And we started giving these notebooks, pens, and other things to the children in the orphanages. Suddenly, one little girl who is sitting next to me, she asked, "Auntie, why should we give all our books and pens and other things to those boys and girls?" So I explained her slowly, "Nana, this is the money that you saved out of stopping a desire of purchasing or buying outside. And those girls, they don't have amma, they don't have mother and father. How can they live without mother and father?" The next question. So God is the only support for them, and we are all friends to them. So we are helping our friends. Then the little girl asked, "What will I get out of this?" See, we have no need to go to gurus and children of group 3 and group 4. A little girl of group 1, she asked me, "What benefit I'll get from this?" I told her, "You'll get a lot of satisfaction. From tomorrow onwards, they all will treat you as their best friend. And you can go and talk to them and say Sai Ram to them. Is it, Auntie, that I can get so many friends?" Yes. Not only your school friends, you can have those girls as your friends also. And here afterwards, don't get more money from your parents. Tell your father or mother to save that money also for some good cause. So slowly I told them about this particular concept. As a result, that selflessness has increased in them, and that ego that we are rich, we are this, all those thoughts have gone. So the focus here is that they will do that. They collected the money, they saved the money, and got it, the books and other things, the useful material to the other children. And this is a small example. It appears to be a very small example. The question that she asked me, "What benefit I'll get from this?" So we told her, there's no benefit out of this. It is that you acquire many good friends. From tomorrow onwards, you have more than 80 or 90 friends. Slowly we can include in our Bal Vikas classes these type of examples and practice. And even one more thing is, for birthdays in our families, especially in our Bal Vikas children, when I ask them, my mother brought 2 frocks for me. My mother brought some dresses for me. One in the morning and one in the evening. Evening we'll have party and all. So slowly we started telling them, cut short one. Tell Amma that I need only one so that I can give it to somebody else. And don't ask me what benefit I'll get. This is not a benefit, it's not that we should give and take. So slowly for Bal Vikas children, teaching Bal Vikas children, it is possible only through gurus only. The Karmanyevadikari say, let us do the seva, let us do the karma, but don't expect or don't expect any kind of result from it. That's what Swami said. And seeing and believing that God is everywhere and doing that work as God's work is the only solution for this. So for that, the Guru is the best example to all these children. I think
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the very beautiful explanation that we have to see God in everyone, and that's how we imbibe that value of selfless service. So the second question, do you need Kannada translation? Kannada translation is...
No, it's already done on the screen, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah. Ma'am, the second question that we have is, leaders are defined not by position or by the power they hold. True leadership is shown when people choose to follow the leader because of the lofty vision they have and because of their selfless nature. Now, how does selfless seva groom leadership traits in children, ma'am?
ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ನಿಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡುವುದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ನಾಯಕತ್ವದ ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಬಹುದು ಎಂಬ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮುಂದೆ ನೀಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So this is called Nishkama Karma. What do you think of Nishkama Karma? Selfless service. So this is Satya Sai, Sri Satya Sai Seva organization is a very good platform to take up this particular Nishkama Karma thing. Because here we don't expect anything. Selfless, take for example our Narayan Seva. What we will get, what benefit we will get from it? We can see the happiness on the people, on the faces of the people. And all the activities, not only Narayan Seva, whatever service project that we are doing in our organization, in this platform, it comes under Nishkama Karma only. So that gives us immense joy and satisfaction. And the leader who practices it and who shows it to his people, Swami always says this, a Nayaka must be a Sevaka. If I am not a Sevak, I cannot be a Nayak. I cannot be a leader. So lead by practice, by an example. I must show to my brothers and sisters that such and such a beautiful example, such and such an example is there in our midst. So that Nishkama Karma is without, it's not like Karmanyavadhikarasya. There we are not attaching anything and we are just doing our seva. But here we are doing it as selfless seva by leaving our ego and other things also.
Thank you, ma'am. So moving on to the next question. In what way can the youth, by participating in seva, can they find purpose and build character and develop deeper meaning in their lives? ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಯುವ ಜನಾಂಗಗಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಈ ನಿಷ್ಕಾಮ ಕರ್ಮ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಜೀವನದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಚಾರಿತ್ರ್ಯದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇನ್ನ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂಬುದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾವು.
Thank you. Let me ask you how many Balvikas Gurus, how many of my sisters are coming for regular seva to Prashanti Nilayam? Very few, only 2 or 3. Of course, maybe a 10.
ಪ್ರಶಾಂತಿ ನಿಲಯಂ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬಾಲವಿಕಾಸ್ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ?
Because this is also our responsibility. If we want to show ourselves as a role model, or if we want to show ourselves as a model to our children, especially when they grow into group 3 and group 4, we are taking pre-Sevadal children also into Seva now with pink scarves and all. Unless we are at least once in a year, compulsory. We used to, when we are in Balvikas, when we are taking Balvikas classes, Andhra and Telangana, we used to have November Seva is for Andhra and Telangana. For 10 days or for 15 days, we used to come and do all the Balvikas Gurus, or 70, 50 or whatever the number. We used to come and do Seva yearly once. And then the question, you are all good people. Then the next question comes, who will handle the Balvikas classes there if you are not there? We used to have an assistant guru with us. That concept was there. Saralanti introduced that concept, and we have an assistant guru who will help us. She's also a sister who will help us when we are not there. In our absence, she will handle the Balvikas classes. We'll never declare holiday for a Balvikas classes. So the assistant guru will handle the class, and we'll come for 10 days and let us do once in a year, at least all Balvikas Gurus can come and do seva in Prashanti Nilayam. And we will become the role models to our Balvikas children and the youth also. And for the youth also, our Satsai, as I told you in the previous question, it is the best platform to show their ABC of life. We all know attitude, behavior and character. To tune the ABC of their life, this platform is a very good platform. And not only that, they need to be very careful, and they will be watchful with their watch also. They will learn how to watch their words, how to watch their thoughts, actions, character and everything. So all these things they can learn by participating in seva activities with a nishkama karma attitude and without accepting any result out of it.
Thank you, ma'am. We now have another question from the audience.
Just a little bit I like to say, we are just one line. That we must always remember what is seva. It is the opportunity given by Bhagwan. The opportunity, that is why when we do not realize that, we say we are the doers, and we are doing seva. And this we don't realize. And the moment we realize that it is the opportunity given by Swami himself, then we become selfless. Right? That is very important.
Never have the doership. Don't attach ourselves to the doership. God is the doer, that's all. As Didi said, it is an opportunity for us to serve.
Okay. We now have a question from our audience. The DC of Bangalore North has posed this question, Mrs. Geeta Ramesh. She asks, how can we explain the liberation and moksha or to escape from the cycle of life and death, like in Bhaja Govindam? Even in the Buddhism symbol, Swami has said, the wheel of life and death. For a group 2 child, this is difficult to understand. So how do we teach them?
Liberation and moksha. Again, I'm saying they explained it to them with the help of stories, right? Okay. You can explain it to them with the help of it. Some real life incidents you can give them. What Swami has said. The answer, I tell you, gurus, only recently I was listening. Satyasai answers, do you listen to that?
Yeah.
Please listen to that. You'll have the answer to all your questions. Just recently, I was listening to what is the misery that people are facing today, and what is the medicine for it?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday only. Yesterday. What is the misery that we are facing?
Ignorance.
Yes, it is ego. Swami, and he gave a full thing and it's just for 3 minutes. This answers. So please go, and you will give me the answer. I will not give the answer. You will give me that answer because it's there. If you are really listening to it, every Thursday, I think even Shashank, he sends it to me, and he wants it that all the gurus should listen to it. All right. These difficult questions that you all are asking, it's not very difficult. You can put it across very, very simply to the children about liberation and moksha. Yes.
You can take small episodes from Swami's discourse also, where Swami said, Moha kshayame mokshamo. So mohamo means desire. So if we lose desire, if we have a control on our desires and all, moksham is nothing but showing a good path or leading to a good. For children, we can explain certain things basing on, as Didi said, listen to Swami's the answers so that they can get good information also.
But for all that, the guru has to read and listen. Otherwise, you cannot.
You are liberated once your mind is under control. That's the best thing. The moment your mind is you're free of all your desires, you are liberated. Liberated or moksha does not mean leaving the world and going away to the mountains and getting moksha. Not like that. You have to live in the society to get your moksha.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for patiently answering all our questions. So, over to the next MC, please. Thank you. A big round of applause to all our panelists for patiently taking and in detailing it out with great practical application that all of us can implement in our class. So I'm sure that we are going to have more effective and active engagement with our children. Thank you, ma'am.
I think all 3 of them are themselves like Bal Vikas children, so I think we must give them a big round.